Welcome into the Postgame show. Game 6, we had Woogas versus Love Yas. And honestly, I think this was one of the most exciting games that we've seen so far in this tournament. Because Woogas, they're the dark horse. They absolutely showed up. Jimmy Norb not only dominated on that pitching mound, but he was 5 for 5 offensively. He literally hit a blitzball cycle. I've never even seen that happen before. Love Yas looked lost. Let's throw it up to the booth and hear what they have on these two teams.
We are back inside the warehouse. It is the DraftKings postgame show, and the Woogas with a come-from-behind 4-3 win over Love Yas. Dan Rourke, your hero of the day.
What a team. I mean, this is my new favorite team, I think. Dan Rourke with a big knock to end it. Didn't quite get the celebration we were looking for. There was some controversy. There was a fair foul call, but in the end of the day, Dan Rourke gets a double, and they're into the 2-0 bracket, which is fun for them, obviously.
And Jimmy Norb making quite a first impression inside these warehouse walls. He is standing by with Paxton Elrod.
Jimmy, what an incredible game, not only from the Woogas, but especially from you. 5 for 5 at the plate, and absolutely dominant performance on the mound. What were those adjustments that you made in order to come out and just absolutely dominate Love Yas?
First and foremost, I want to give love to my teammate Dan Rourke. I'm having so much fun playing with him. He got the big hit. We got a motto this week that's just pass the baton. And honestly, I got confidence in him. So I'm at the plate. I'm not trying to do too much. I'm just trying to get Dan up with runners on base because he's seeing the ball pretty good right now. But I think on the mound was my big adjustment from game 1 to game 2. I felt like coming into this tournament I was going to be able to hit. Pitching, on the other hand, I wasn't 100% confident, but I started throwing more breaking balls, mixing up speeds, mixing up windups a little bit, and overall just hitting my spots, and that's what you got to do against good offenses like Love Yas.
So with Dan Rourke, your teammate, he can be a little all over the place sometimes. A lot of curse words, a lot of, oh my gosh, why did I do that kind of attitude. How do you maintain him and keep him reined in and just pull out win after win?
Paxton, you can't. You got to let Dan. You have to let Dan be Dan. His emotion, it just shows that he cares and he wants to win. And what I love about him is like when he gives up a couple runs, he comes out, he's like apologizing to me. I'm like, Dan, you don't have to apologize to me. Like, I'm just happy to be playing here with you. Like, we're just having such a fun time. So, all around, good day.
When I'm up there, kind of it's just me in the zone, and sometimes you got to think about other things. And credit to Dan, put a great swing on it. Credit to Jimmy Norb, he's a dog. Hit the fucking Snapdragon fuck, but he was saying oh, look at this instead of fuck. So shout out to Jimmy Norb, shout out to Dan Rourke. Those guys played a hell of a game.
So I had a really good scouting report on Nicky. One thing from coming from wiffle ball, like, we like to hit sliders. That's a pitch we really like to hit, and a lot of guys told me Nicky Cash is going to throw you a lot of sliders. And I was like, okay, that sounds good to me. So first at bat, the homer was a slider. And after that, he started to go away from it a little bit. And once I knew he was going away from it, I could start sitting on his other pitches because he has a really good two-seamer, too. And the first couple times it froze me. He had some speed trouble as well, which hurt him. But once I was able to adjust and just tell myself I have to swing at that two-seamer, even if it looks outside, I really started to get a feel for all of his pitches. And then I felt like there wasn't much he could get past me.
Second inning was good, at least. Momentum at bats, worked great at bats, walks, hits, hit by pitches, all that jazz. That was great.
That ball was lodged in my armpit at first, and then it kind of fell out, and then I closed my arm again, and somehow it stayed in there. I really don't know how, but just a whirlwind of a play.
On the mound, I've just been a liability at this point. Got to figure it out. He deserves better on the bump. I'll give him better in the playoffs.
I started off the game I feel like I was calm. I was on my Zen stuff like we were talking earlier. And, I quickly lost, and then from there it all just snowballs. Like one F-bomb turns into 2, turns into 10, and then, But Plouffe came out, calmed me down a little bit, more so just I needed a breather. I was just going back and forth, and that's probably what I needed, was to calm down a little bit. Eventually got out of it. I was pumped that, it felt like it was five runs were scored. But when I saw it was 3-1, like Jimmy was saying that, like, you literally said to me, like, we still got a ball game. I was like, yeah, all right, word. And then, we went from there.
I'll tell you how we're going to fix it. Roll some inspirational music. I'll wait for it. Sometimes in life, you're going to get kicked down, okay? And we've been kicked down the past 2 days. We've been kicked down. But nobody's going to punch harder than life. Nobody. And it ain't about how hard you could hit. It's about how hard you could get hit and keep moving forward. Yeah. How hard you can take the punches and keep moving forward.
Give me a tough play. Jeter on the run. Oh, let's go, baby. Let's go. We got two dead. You know what they say, Justin? This is where you turn the boys into men. That's what they say.
I'm not swinging. I'm not swinging.
Just count.
3-0 until I get a strike. Okay?
Why? Dude, chances are if he throws one and you swing and make contact, it's going to be a hit.
True.
I would be aggressive.
Okay.
Be aggressive.
Hey, go, man. Come on, Nate. You got it.
Dan, how about I get on base and you just hit a nuke?
That sounds good.
We're tied.
I would very
Why
much
not?
like that.
I would love that. That'd make my heart really happy, actually.
He's got that zone.
So we got what, bottom of the second?
Bottom 2, we're the home team. We're the home team.
It is just 2 runs.
It's just 2.
It felt like fucking 5.
2 little runs.
Walks just suck, bro. I'd rather get tagged, honestly, than like,
Yeah.
you
No,
know.
I feel you on that.
Damn.
Music, I guess. I don't know. This is new for me.
I love it when you call me Big Papa.
Maybe. No, it's either Shakira, Kesha, or something like totally obscure like the Lumineers. One of the 3. But this is news to me, you know. So sometimes Dalton, he pulls these things out of the hat, and you're just like, all right. He also is wearing a sweatshirt because he thinks it's going to slow down his arm speed. And I think that's counterintuitive according to physics. Like, his arm's going to be heavier, so theoretically it's going to move faster, thus creating more velocity. But I don't know.
This game is a wrap. But before we get to the next one, we got to talk about our friends DraftKings, who are the presenting sponsor for BB4. DraftKings Sportsbook is here to help you get closer to the action. Whether you're a diehard basketball fan, hockey fanatic, or looking ahead to the golf season, DraftKings has got you covered. Get some skin in the game and download the DraftKings app right now and use our promo code WAREHOUSE. And if sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry, don't cry, don't fret. You can still join in on the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy and have a shot to win cash prizes. So download the DraftKings app now and use promo code WAREHOUSE. That is promo code WAREHOUSE only at DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours, but now it's time to hear from our favorite person, Kelsey Wingert. She has got Game 7 on the docket. Kels, what you got?
Thank you so much, Pax. Crazy to think 7 games into this tournament already as we get you set. This is going to be an interesting one today. We have Del Caribe, who we saw a lot of struggles from in their first game of this tournament, taking on the Plouffes in Forgotten Rotten. Now, these are 2 teams that come into this matchup both 0-1, but what's going to be interesting is can Joe figure it out on the mound? Because in warehouse history, Lou and Joez have combined to never get out the former big leaguer in Trevor Plouffe. And we're still trying to learn exactly what Marshall can bring. We know he's an athlete. He played baseball in college. He pitched in the minor leagues as well. So Forgotten Rotten should take the W in this one. But we were able to talk to both teams before the game. Let's catch you up on what they all had to say. What did you take away in your first ever game here in the warehouse, first ever game of Blitzball that you didn't know then and you know now for game 2?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a little more fast-paced than you think, you know. It's a little more real when you're in here. I think we're going to be better this time for sure. I mean, it'd be hard to be worse than we were in the first game, honestly. So,
Joe, something we talk about a lot is you having to figure it out on the mound. In game 1, you were not able to do that. Is there anything that you think you've been able to piece together between these games to be able to record your 2 outs on the mound?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's, I think it's a lot with consistency on the mound. I was able to get my strength up, so then that's good, and I'm able to throw a lot harder, and I think I could throw with some movement now, so then that's good, and it's just controlling it, that's all.
How much of your game strategy is just getting Joez on the mound and him having to record those 2 outs? You saw him crumble in their game, their first game they played in this tournament.
We're, like, not in it to just, like, beat the bad pitchers. We, like, think we're the best team here. So we want Lou. Lou's one of the best pitchers, in my opinion, in the tournament. But we want to face that, and we think we can hit it. First day, you know, we're getting our angles right, our hand placement, all that. I think day 2 would be better.
Lou, we know how talented you are at the plate. You lead in almost every offensive category whenever you look at statistics. What can you do to get to Trevor Plouffe, who has been a little bit inconsistent on the mound recently?
I just got to be patient. Day 1 for me, I wasn't so plate disciplined. I think if I pick a pitch out against him, he's going to come at me. If I know Trev, he's a competitor. and he's not going to want to walk me. I know he's going to attack me, so I just got to be ready for the fight.
I know you guys got Marshall on the mound just for that final out, so you got those nerves out. Did you feel like you figured it out in that one little batter situation you had out there?
Yeah, I think so. It was a little tough situation. I wish I would have done a little bit better. But, I would think today we're good. We're going to be good today.
So you kind of heard it from both sides there. I appreciate that Forgotten Rotten said their whole game strategy is not going to be based on just trying to beat Joez, but you heard it from Joez himself. He has to figure out how to be more consistent on the mound, and so far, and every single game we have seen here in the warehouse, he hasn't quite figured that out yet. So we'll see if the magic pill happens today for Joez. But Forgotten Rotten is hoping that they can walk away with a big win in this one. But for more on this matchup, we're going to tell you about Jolly Olive because he knows everything. He is in the Olive Pit, and he is ready to go to get you guys geared up.
Game 7 of Blitzball Battle 4 here at the Olive Pit. It's Forgotten Rotten versus Del Caribe. It's a big day for them. They have a lot to prove after getting pretty much blown out by the hook line sinkers in a 5-1 game. A big reason that happened was Lou Dab not recording a hit as a batter. He was one of just 2 batters to do that in day 1, which is very uncharacteristic for him, but he was sharp on the mound. He was one of just 4 pitchers to strike out all 4 batters they faced in their first game, and I think he's actually going to need some more outs on the field because if he gets strikeouts, Joez McFly is coming onto the mound, and somehow, some way, his career ERA rose from 300 to 360 yesterday, which I did not think was possible, but here we are. Again, they are facing a vulnerable version of Forgotten Rotten with a newcomer in Marshall, and then Trevor Plouffe, who didn't look great as a hitter yesterday. Trev went 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts in his game against Baggage. It's only the second time in his blitzball career that he struck out 3 times in a game, and the only other time was his first game ever against Drew Davis in Blitzball Battle 1. So, a long time coming for Trev, a long time coming win maybe for Del Caribe, who's trying to get the first one with their new uniforms and new name. Let's see what else the pregame show can tell us about this exciting matchup.
Ready? Wake up! Wake up!
All right, thank you very much. Are you okay?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What is this?
It's a coat hanger with a shirt on it.
Well, you can hang it elsewhere if you want to. You're going to hold it in front of you.
I'm just going to make sure we're wearing it.
This is where we are, right? Smack dab in the middle of the regular season, folks. Pair of winless teams in Del Caribe and a 2-time champion in Forgotten Rotten, the brothers Plouffe, if you will. Boy, Trevor Plouffe is licking his chops, though, because the combination of Lou and Joez has never gotten him out. He is a perfect 6 for 6 at the dish against them.
I just read that, and that's kind of scary for both teams. Trevor didn't look himself yesterday.
Nope.
I'm interested to see how he recovers after that Italian meal last night. Look, he's got a lot of questions. He didn't win the last one. He's the only professional athlete in here, and he needs to show up today.
Wow. As for Del Caribe, Lou Dab looked out of sorts.
Sure
Not
did.
the same guy that was
Sure
an
did.
MVP candidate in Blitzball Battle 3.
Yep.
But I expect him to figure some things out. He said he hasn't lost confidence there. That means we're left with Joez.
The big fella.
What do we do?
Look, I'm going to throw myself under the bus here, but I did work with him a little bit yesterday, trying to get his direction, just trying to get him to throw strikes. I'd rather see him give up 5 home runs than walk everybody. So strikes, Joez. That's all we're looking for, big fella. Come on.
By the way, shouldn't you have saved that nugget for when he actually gets an out?
No, I would like to just let everyone know that.
Ahead of time.
Why not? I will die on that sword. I help Joez out. He either takes that advice or I'm a terrible coach.
Moylan is all about honesty.
That's right.
Way to go.
And I stink. This shirt stinks. That's
was
why I'm
about
not
to-
wearing it. It's
Thank
6
God
games
this-
in.
Thank God this isn't smell-o-vision.
Oh.
Because everybody at home would. At least I'm getting paid for this effort.
Are you?
All right, Kelsey, you got a prediction for us?
I do have a prediction, but you did mention Lou seeming out of sorts yesterday. His son did have a fever, and I have great news to report. He's feeling much better today.
Yes.
So Lou will not be out of sorts today, but Trevor Plouffe has to figure it out. But regardless if he figures it out or not, I will take Forgotten Rotten in this matchup. I think the fact that Joez has to record 2 outs on the mound because we know he already struggles to get them defensively. We don't know if he'll be able to pick up one of the outs there. But I have to go with the former big leaguer, the former minor league pitcher in Forgotten Rotten, because I don't think that Joez actually went into the lab as he said he would do after his struggles in his first game of this tournament. So Forgotten Rotten for me, boys.
All right, Kels. Peter Moylan?
I have to pick the same. I mean, I watched Trev warm up today. I've seen his brother. him working with his brother, taking BP. They're two professional athletes. I rest it all on Lou, but it's up to Joez. I pick Forgotten Rotten.
Trifecta. Not going against my baseball today brother in Trevor Plouffe and his brother Marshall Plouffe, who I predict will play significantly better. Why? Because his lovely wife, Marisa, arrived from San Diego
Really?
just in time for game number 2 for Forgotten Rotten.
Talk about inspiration.
That's right.
Wow.
Can't wait to bring you the live stream. Make sure you tune in. Pair teams trying to get win number 1 on the season. For Kelsey, Wingert, Peter Moylan, and our amazing John Boy Media production team, I am Chris Rose. Thanks for tuning in here to the DraftKings pregame show.